Hey, let's do it.
Okay. Good to meet you.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Thank you. Where are they in the car?
Where, you know?
Oh, yeah. Looks amazing.
Yeah, you know, I was on a ride once with a guy who needed to
Oh my God, I
retire his shorts, and I was like,
Yeah, wonderful. So welcome to this celebration of freedom. My name is Damian Kevitt. I'm the executive director and founder of Streets Are For Everyone, also known as SAFE. And well, I wanted to just kick this off and do a little history lesson. How many of you really like history? Yeah, not many. So nearly 246 years ago, on July 4th, 1776, our forefathers signed the Declaration of Independence declaring this country's freedom from the tyrannical rule of the King of England. On December 10th, 1948, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, co-authored by Ms. Eleanor Roosevelt, was ratified by the United Nations. On Monday, June 27th, 2022, Griffith Park closed a 3/4-mile section of Griffith Park Drive, giving us a monumental step towards making Griffith Park safe for those who use it most: kids, families, runners, hikers, equestrians, and cyclists. Now, these three dates might not be entirely comparable. I do realize that. But for at least a few of us here, that's a definite point of debate. Now, Griffith Park is the crown jewel of all parks in the county of Los Angeles. Nearly 4,300 acres of urban wilderness in the middle of a concrete jungle. It is one of the largest urban parks in the entire United States, bigger than Golden Gate Park and Central Park combined. It's also the largest park in the entire U.S. that still allows cars to drive through it. Today, we celebrate as Griffith Park takes one step closer to once again becoming a park, not a highway for speeding vehicles. Now, this closure is really important for Streets Are For Everyone and for me personally, not just because it's something that we've been asking for the last 5 to 6 years, but because SAFE itself, the very organization, was actually born out of a tragedy that happened in Griffith Park, which is my own tragedy. In 2013, I was bicycling in Griffith Park with my wife, and I was hit, pinned underneath the car, and dragged nearly a 1/4 mile from the streets of Griffith Park onto and down the 5 freeway at freeway speeds. It's the reason why I'm missing my right leg, and I should have lost my life. But that tragedy spawned a citywide movement for safer streets, a movement that created Streets Are For Everyone. So now this celebration is not just about me or what SAFE wants. It's about every one of you here today. It's about all of the nonprofits who have been working together, many of whom are here today and will be speaking, and many others who have been voicing the need for things to change, who have been asking for Griffith Park that's for the community, not the commuters. Unfortunately, it took a fatality to bring this transformation from an idea on a paper to reality. On April 16th, 2022, 77-year-old Andrew Jelmer was finishing a 67-mile training ride for AIDS Life Cycle when he was hit and killed by a drunk driver traveling at nearly 80 miles per hour through Griffith Park. So many of us were outraged and distraught when they heard the news. I remember the point. Can you imagine the point when you heard it? Do you remember that point? I'm sure all of you remember that exact point when you first heard what happened. I can tell you, though, that none of us have suffered more than Andrew Jelmer's husband of 28 years, Andre, who is right there. Thank you, Andre, for coming out. But despite his horrible loss, when I talked with Andre, one of the first things he said to me was, how do we make Griffith Park safer? It's not safe. Streets Are For Everyone and the other nonprofits here today took that as a challenge. More importantly, Councilmember Nithya Raman, her staff, Mehmet, somewhere over here, And Department of Recreations and Parks stepped up to the plate in a very big way. Not only did they implement immediate emergency actions to slow the speeding drivers in Griffith Park, but they also funded the first major comprehensive review of safety of Griffith Park in decades, possibly ever. Yeah, that's right. That deserves an acknowledgement. And now, just over 2 months after Andrew Gelmert's fatality, we are here today celebrating this moment. Technically, this closure is a pilot. It won't be permanent for a number of more weeks, assuming that the pilot goes well. But for the city of Los Angeles to implement a change this big, this fast, is truthfully unbelievable. I want to express my deepest appreciation to Councilmember Rahman, the superintendent of Griffith Park, and everyone else in Recs and Parks and the city who has listened and worked so hard to make this happen for the city near light speed.
The local LAUSD schools and the bicycle education programs that we host. Try Metro doing first and last mile rides to and from transit so that you can start to get out of those cars and explore our amazing public transit, which is okay, but quickly getting better.
Watch the horse!
Watch the horse.
Make way for the horse!